Courage is not a trick, it is a practice. And let's see how this courage helps us to reclaim our own lives. Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Kanaka. I am a practicing rehabilitation counselor. I share certain things which clicked with me while reading this particular book named Reclaim Your Life by a very famous psychologist named Dr. Shelja Singh. So let's start with the first letter C, which stands for Change the Channel and which consists of three elements: mindfulness, separation, and compassionate acceptance. So mindfulness means one is aware of their own thoughts and feelings in the present moment. Let us try to understand through an analogy. One is sitting on a chair with a pile of papers and the window is open, and as the wind blows it just take away all the paper on the ground, throw away all the paper on the ground, and the person just simply chase after paper without closing the window. On the other hand, what is required is closing the window first and then chase paper after paper. Second, separation basically means the problem is the problem, but the person is not the problem. We are required to see person as the whole, not just the problem part. We generally talk about that he is aggressive or she is aggressive. Instead of saying that, we can simply use a language: he or she is dealing with aggression. Last one is the compassionate acceptance. Compassionate acceptance basically means accepting the suffering instead of just running away or getting rid away from it. Acceptance brings liberation instead of that running away, which brings nothing. Let's talk about the second one, O. O stands for owning your own light, which basically means finding to that all those buried strengths, abilities, skills which help us to carry on from day to day. It's about looking out for those exceptions where one is able to manage to find that joy, meaningfulness, and worthiness against all the odds. In owning our light, we all contain some positives and negatives. So there's something called art of selective watering. For example, imagine you have a garden with a thorny bush in the corner. So it's completely up to you, like sitting just beside a thorny bush and pricking yourself again and again, or the one is mindful of this thorny bush in the corner, but is also mindful of the rest of the garden, so beautiful and full of the flowers. So art of selective watering basically means one is aware of and mindful of their negatives, but somehow watering their wholesome seeds. Letter after O is U, which stands for upholding personal agency. So upholding personal agency basically means having that control and authorship over our own story. And for that, setting up the goals, taking actionable steps, and moving forward. And always remembering that the journey is not at all linear. It's going to be back and forth. Comes the letter R, which stands for reauthoring our stories, which means moving forward, reclaiming all the territory and the stories which we have made so far. We all have some messy past. Denying that past means denying a part of me, who I am today. Accepting it brings that liberation, because acceptance brings that deep understanding and acknowledgement of what is and what can be changed right now. We are not denying it at all. Just take an example of home. For example, home is a story. We always showcase the decorated, the cozy corners to our guests, but we never showcase that messy corners to anyone. But we do know, we are do mindful they are present in our home, and we do even take care and clean that part also. So similarly, in our own lives, we are required to just simply let go, reclaim it, and start living it. Just don't get trapped in these 5 P's. That is pretending, proving, pleasing, perfecting, and performing. So she talks about a very unique word which I came across with Ubuntu, which is a South African word which says like a person is a person through other people. And various researchers even show a positive correlation between the happiness and altruism. So this she talks about some shared humanity, which means each day, randomly or non-randomly, just pick up any kind of a task or as small as making a cup of tea for somebody without expecting anything in return. And the last one is reviewing. Keep the 10 to 20 minutes at the end of the day for reviewing your day, how it actually went, like letting it go, just forgiving yourself for any kind of a guilt, any kind of anger on yourself. Writing a gratitude journal. What are you grateful for the day? And setting an intention for the day and the night. The next letter, G, stands for growing our tribe. We human beings are hardwired for love, connection, and to belong. But the demons in our mind somehow make us feel disconnected from the people around us. And we try to numb this pain through the damaging patterns or the addictions. So growing our tribe basically means removing that shame, damaging patterns, over with that addictions, and find that authentic and meaningful conversation with the people who we value and cherish, who accept us with all our oddities, with all our imperfections, and help us and support us. Finding your North Star. It's a metaphor for direction and meaning, which we all are looking for in our lives. It does not necessarily mean a passion, a vocation, a calling. But the most crucial and important thing is to reflect on what matters to you. The world is waiting for the people who come alive. Do find out what makes you alive
Here we
and
are
do it.
in the ending of the video, which I want to end with the famous quote, which reads, "Our life shrinks and expands in proportion to the courage one takes." I have taken a courage to start making this video. You can also take it by standing against the stigma, the silence, the shame you're facing in your life, and start reclaiming your life. Thank you so much for visiting this video, and do comment what you liked about it, what you did not like about it, and lots of hope in your life.